Yeah, hi everyone, Jason here, Robot Lawnmowers Australia. Today I'm going to go through a quick review of the Segway Navimow. This particular model is the H3000E model. We've had this model here set up on a test track here, on a test area for a couple of weeks now. Actually, I think it's about three weeks we've had it here for. So I'm going to show you the results of how it's gone, show you some of the pros and cons of what we found and some of the areas that it struggled with. And also show you how well it's done under some of the tree cover. So I'll quickly just run through the setup that we've got here at the moment. So right now we've actually got the Segway base station here with its RTK station. Now we haven't really done it any favours by putting the actual base station or the reference station here. In regards to, we're right next to this garden here, we're right next to these palm trees. There's also another tree right here that's up the side here as well. So we would have done a lot better to actually have this RTK station probably further at the side there, so that the actual RTK station itself can get a good 120-degree cone shape from above the reference station at all times. So haven't done ourselves any favours on how we've actually set it up. The unit itself, just for those who want to know, is actually set up on solar here. So we've actually got 400 watts of solar panel and 100 amp hour lithium battery inside the inverter box there, and it's just powering off the inverter box. And that's allowing this robot to run for approximately, it's actually mowing for around about 6 hours a day. It goes out for 2 runs per day, and it mows for about 3 hours each time. So you can see very quickly the area here, so everything's perfectly well maintained. You can, hopefully you can see on the camera there, you can see the lines going through there. It's currently mowing on a 45-degree angle here, and I'll show you the app there on the screen. There shows you what it's actually doing right now and where it's up to. You can see on the app image there that this property has a lot of islands. There's actually 30 islands actually set up in this property. I apologise for the noise as well. We've actually got the local contractors here actually mowing the rest of the yard there. So this property that we've got set up here at the moment, so where we've got this set up is actually on around about 3,600 square metres. We've got the Segway set up on, and inside that 3,600 square metres there is 30 islands, and those islands add up to approximately about 500 square metres in total. So the robot is still mowing about 3,100 square metres of grass, even without the islands. So we'll take you over the side over here where you can see the boundary where the Segway is mowing versus where the conventional mowing has been done. So the Segway finishes just here, that comes in the side here, and hopefully you can certainly see by the leaves for a start. So you can see where the leaves actually start on the ground here, whereas on this side here all the leaves have actually been pushed out of the way and sort of mulched up a little bit. But robot lawnmowers are not very good at mulching leaves up, but you can certainly see the difference in this occasion, where there are leaves and where there are not. So this side here, so from that line there through there, on that side there, it's all been mowed by a conventional rider mower, and like I said, he's here mowing it right at this moment. And on this side is where the Segway's been looking after, and you really can see the difference. It's significantly different. Hopefully you can see that on the camera. Okay. So all of these islands around the place, so every single one of these islands has all been cordoned around by the Segway in the map, as you can see from the map on the screen there. And you can sort of hopefully see that it's leaving perfect parallel lines everywhere it goes. So it goes all the way down the back here. So as far as the amount that we've actually set up, and essentially how many islands are actually set up in this area, this really is far beyond the capacity of what the mower should be able to look after. And like I said, it mows for 6 hours a day on this property, and it takes roughly 3 days for it to complete one full mow. So it goes through, and so roughly takes about 18 hours for the robot to actually mow the entire area. Now, good spot down here. So just to let you know about faults that we've had with it, there's been very few. We've actually only had one lost area fault where it couldn't position itself correctly, which is really fantastic given the area that it's actually in. So you can see, particularly in this space down here, so all this area down here, there are trees above the top of it, not really thick canopies of trees, but certainly canopies, basically down through this space through here, is, you can see pretty much where the shade is at the moment, because it's what is it? It's 11:22 in the morning at the moment, so the sun's pretty high up in the sky. But essentially, wherever you see shade is where the robot is underneath the tree canopy, and then up through here is the only one spot where it actually did fail to position itself, but only once, and we never came back and actually schedule or change the map. We just set the robot going again, and it was actually over here in this little location here. So it was in this, basically just in here it was, basically between these two islands here, and you can see, if I stand back, again, apologies for the noise, unfortunately I can't stop the contractor from doing his work. So you can see in this location here, we've got this, basically looks like some kind of peppercorn type tree, that's got a fairly thick canopy over the top. Then there's the other trees on the outer boundary that are over top of that, and it's also bordering on this tree canopy as well. So there is a significant amount of tree coverage in this particular spot just here, and that's where it stopped once. It's mowed this area, like I said, it's been here for about 3 weeks now, so it's mowed this area 6 or 8 times now, to 100%, and that was the only time it had a position failure where it couldn't locate itself. Now, the only other 2 times it stopped was in holes that we didn't see, basically. I'll show a picture on the screen here of how this robot actually got struck, because I took a photo at the time. But it was actually this little channel here. There's a channel in the ground through here, and it doesn't look so bad, but when you put your foot in it, it's actually quite deep. So it actually, it almost swallows most of my foot. So it's actually quite a deep hole there. So the Segway did get stuck in that. What I did find is that after it did get stuck in the hole, it came back to this spot, but it remembered where it got stuck, and it actually avoided the area where it got stuck. So it basically got stuck just here. It was mowing up and down this way at the time, so it went back down to this island over here. It turned around and came back, and it stopped, and then went around, and then came around the other side of it and kept going. It was still going through the trench further up because it didn't know that was there, but it did a very good job of trying to avoid itself, trying to avoid the issues that it knew was there. So really did a fantastic job. And the only other spot was, again, another hole that was found that we weren't aware of, and I'm not even sure where the hole was, because I think it's here. It's here. So there's a hole here, and that is, again, that is a significant hole. That takes pretty much my entire chute. So it actually got stuck there. Now, what's funny is that it actually did manage to, we didn't actually know this hole was here for about a week and a half before it got stuck in that hole. So it did mow, it mowed through this hole probably 2 or 3 times before we actually were aware that the hole was there. So it really did a fantastic job of being able to get through that hole when it was. So basically that's the setup we have here. We're going to run other robots on exactly the same setup here, so we can compare robot for robot. But this is the H3000E Segway without the vision. So we haven't been able to test the vision sensor yet. We haven't got one yet. So hopefully we'll have one soon. But you really can see that the job this robot has actually been doing is absolutely fantastic. It has no troubles at all keeping up with the grass growth, particularly this time of year where it's not really growing very much at all. And I really would suspect that the 3,000 square metre model will quite happily be able to keep up with 3,000 square metres, particularly when it's on an area that doesn't have as many obstacles as it has here. Again, if you look at the map there, there's so many obstacles for it to actually go around and for it to avoid, and it's spending so much of its time going around and turning around those obstacles. Also worth noting is that the more obstacles you have, or the more off-limit areas you have in your installation, the more the robot actually has to go around and do the border cut. So it goes and does a border cut first. So I'll put another image up on the screen here. So it goes around each of these borders first before it starts mowing. Now, the Segway at this point of time, you can't change the angle of the cut. It does it automatically by itself. So I'll put a series of images up here, but yeah, so the first time it mows, it'll mow, it might mow north-south and go straight up and down. Then the next time it mows, it might mow at a 45-degree angle and then 90 degrees the other way, and it changes itself automatically from one mow to the next, and you can't change that at this point of time in the software. So we'll leave it at that. Yeah, if you have any questions, please, as always, send us an email at sales@robotlawnmowers.com.au. You can check out a lot of information about wireless robots and wired robots on our website at www.robotlawnmowers.com.au. And you can also check us out on Facebook and see some other videos and things that we post there. So just search for Robot Lawn Mowers Australia on Facebook. But other than that, thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you in the next one.